Hi everybody, I'm Kevin Vanrocker. I was fortunate enough to be the coach of the BCH Adam Local League 1 team this year. And at the start of the year, we had our parent meeting, and I remember saying to everyone, small team, 10 players, keep an open mind. 2 players were new to hockey. Adam can be tough division sometimes, and basically just keep an open mind. It could be a long season, but it would be a fun season. And boy, what a season it turned into. As of Christmas, or just before Christmas, on the score web sheet or website, we were ranked number 1 out of the 42 WAA teams, North and South. And that was a nice gift for a coach for a Christmas present. It was short-lived, though, because we had a number of games at hand, and there were some pretty strong teams that weren't long catching us up and passing us, but it was nice to be there for a little bit. We finished the season strong. We from the 1st of February on, we went 13-0. That included a 3-0 sweep of a Mount Forest tournament, and we reached playoffs and managed to go 9-0 throughout playoffs, where we then advanced to the WAA finals, and I strongly believe we would have won the finals and brought a banner home next fall to hang up. It was unfortunate. It was sad, but bittersweet, because we're still a co-champion, so we've got that for us. We played in 3 tournaments this year. We started off in the Seaforth tournament before Christmas, and we wound up the B champions there. Interesting format. We ended up playing 6 games in that tournament, and came away as the B champ, so that was good. And then the very following weekend, we were in Embro to play in a tournament where we made it to the A final. We were down 2-0 in the 3rd period, and we managed to come back and tie it up, and only to lose it in the dying seconds. So we were the A finalists. Still brought some hardware home. It was fun. And then, as I mentioned before, the Mount Forest tournament, we wouldn't be denied. We went 3-0 and won the A championship there. So that was good. Before I get to the players, I'd like to give a couple thank yous and share my appreciation to some people. Chris Roseboom, Laura.Allan, and Laura.Allan, and all the parents too, for being 100% supportive. It was a great year for parents. But Chris, Karina, and Laura really helped out at the parent meeting. It was evident I was short-staffed on the bench, and both Chris and Karina got right up and they were like, "What can we do? How can we help?" And they both went and got their trainer certificate, got involved. Chris came out and helped me on the ice with practices, which was a big help. And whenever either of them couldn't make it, Laura would show up and work the door, and she also took on the duties as team manager. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much, guys. It's a big help. Now the real stars of the team, players. I'm going to start with Jackson Folk-Smith. Jackson wasn't able to make it to too many games or practices, but when he was there, it showed, and he put numbers up on the score sheet. He managed to collect a point in just about every game he played, and I always like to try and make sure everybody has their chance to get a goal and stuff when they're out on the ice, and Jackson would say to me, "I got a goal last year. I don't need another goal. I want to help someone else get a goal." And I remember thinking, what a bold statement from such a young man. A lot of times this age, the kids are all about wanting to score themselves, and he wanted to help out others, and I commend him for that. Good job, Jackson. I hope to see you next year, because, boy, you play with a lot of heart. Next is Wes Coleman. Wes was a strong player right from the start. By Christmas time, Wes had already accumulated 50 goals, and by the end of the season, he finished the year with 77 goals, 18 assists, for a total of 95 points. And I just know, had we gone to that WAA final, Wes would have hit 100. Tough one. You did a good job for us, Wes. You got some real key points in key games when we needed them. I remember an overtime game in the playoffs. We were against Blythe. We were down 2-1. We pulled the goalie. Wes got the tying goal with just seconds left, and then lo and behold, 2 minutes into overtime, he potted us the winner too. So without that, we wouldn't have swept the playoffs, that's for sure. So, well done, Wes. You played a good year. I'm proud of you. Miles Snyder. Miles is one of the great success stories of our team. There's a young man who started the year. He was one of our first year players, new player to hockey. Um, could stand, could take a few strides, but a little wobbly on his feet. And he kept at it. He worked hard. He got stronger. You could see his confidence building over the season. And I remember at the end of the year, we had a little skills competition amongst the team, and Miles wound up being our third fastest skater by the end of the year. And it was funny because after that skills competition, we went into playoffs, and you could just see it in his eyes. Whenever the puck went down the ice, he would take off after it like a bolt, and it was like no one was gonna get to the puck before him. His skating came along so tremendously, and he ended the season with 4 goals and 17 assists, which is pretty darn good for a first-year player at Adam. And I'm proud of you, Miles. You did well. Congrats. Brandon Hutchings. We started Brandon off the season as a forward, and not long after I moved him back on defense to try it out, and ended up teaming him up with another young man named Laura.Allan. And the two of them became a wall of defense back there. They just played really, really well together, and a few times they were passing back and forth to each other. They were looking for each other. If one went in, the other would cover. They bought into the system well, and Brandon, his skating really came along this year too. And he was hustling every shift he was out there, and he finished the season with 2 goals and 7 assists. And I remember another playoff game we were in, and we were short, small team already, but we were short-staffed, and I moved Brandon back up to play forward, and lo and behold, he got a breakaway and went in and got the goal, and it just set us on pace for that game, and it was awesome to see, and he did really well. Good job, Brandon. Next, Laura.Allan, who I mentioned before. Tyler, for the size of him, he wasn't going to let anybody get around him. He held that blue line stronger than a lot of people I've ever seen. He saved us from numerous offsides by just getting to that puck, getting it back in deep, and he'd always get it in deep. And he's got a really, really hard shot. And Ty, I hope you keep working on your wrist there too, because if you get that puck up, holy cow, you're going to pot a lot of them from the point. He just, one memory that sticks out in my mind, it was the old Howick Arena. And we had a comfortable lead, so I was shifting some people around, and we moved Tyler up to forward. And boy, he took off on a breakaway and went in there and took a couple whacks at it, but he finally got it through the goalie, and I nearly got bulldozed over by Karina, who was flying through to give him a hug as he came off the bench. But one of the best feelings as a coach, when you see someone get their first goal like that, and the look on their face, and it's just like, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty cool, and it makes it fun, and I'm really proud of Tyler. I hope to see you again next year. I'm going to go to Laura.Allan. She was one of the 2 young ladies on our team this year. She was always upbeat and optimistic. Molly's a really good friend and teammate to everyone on and off the bench. She's not afraid to go out of her comfort zone. Up until now, Molly had always played forward, and I said to her, do you want to try defense? And she was a little reluctant, but she went back, she played D, and came off telling me how much she liked it. She played back there, so she kept up and had her paired up on D, and she wound up this season with 4 goals and 15 assists, which is a career high for Molly. And she played a pivotal role in that Embro tournament, as I was mentioning before. We were down 2-0 going into the 3rd period, and Molly got in there digging, and she notched our first goal to get us on the board, to start us the momentum going, and we were able to come back and tie that game. So without that, I could see things on the bench starting to get a little concerned. But once she potted that goal, everybody was like, we're going for it, let's go. So way to go, Molly. Jason Allen is a feisty young man. He went from playing a full-time goalie the last 2 seasons to becoming our team's fastest skater at the skills competition. Jason was the first on our team to hit 30 assists. and ended the year as our assist leader with 33, along with 15 goals. Not bad considering he still played 5 games in net as a goaltender, and he collected 5 wins there as well. Jason shares his older brother's heart when it comes to playing. He never quits. He's not afraid to go into the corner against the biggest players, and he's always there to give a big hug to someone whoever scores the goal on the other team or on our team. You don't want to give hugs to the other team, but our team. And he's a fun player to watch. He gives it his all, and I'm very appreciative of it. Thank you, Jason. Andreas Brandt. Andreas was the backbone of our team, and quite honestly, could be one of the best Adam local goalies I've ever seen. He held us in more times than I can care to count, and made highlight reel saves over and over again. If things didn't go our way, he still kept a cool head. He plays the position well. He doesn't let things get to him, or he doesn't let on that he lets them get to him. He also he played a few games out for us, and he still managed to notch 3 goals and an assist. One thing was clear from the start, and I remember talking to Karina about this on the bench. Our team was strong in the goaltender position. Whether we had Jason in or Andreas in, we knew we were good back there. And as a goaltending duo, they were, I would say, in WA probably second and might be a little biased, but they were 2 unbelievable goaltenders. I have a memory of Andreas that I'll never forget, and it was always at the end of the game, just seeing him sit there on the bench with his water bottle, drinking it, taking in the whole room, not saying much, while his dad John pretty much took off all his equipment for him. It was fun to watch, but it was pretty good. For your efforts, Andreas, we've named you our team's most sportsmanlike player award winner this year. So congratulations to you. You're well deserving of it. Danica McCowan. Danica was our other first year player. Absolute pleasure to coach. She wasn't afraid to ask questions, and learned why it's important to guard your man, go to the net. She had the ability to watch the play and know in a rush if the defense was carrying the puck in, she would automatically cover the D position at the blue line, and then once the D come back, she would charge in. I like that she asked questions, because a lot of people just nod their head and say, yep, we know what we're doing, and then you run the drill and people are out of position. She wasn't afraid to ask questions. She wanted to know, and that means a lot as a coach. If players aren't afraid to be asking you why we're doing this, why we're doing that, it's excellent. So keep that up, Danica. Danica ended the year with 4 goals and 28 assists, which is quite a point total. She wound up 5th on our team for points, and that's pretty good. And because of those points and your determination, Danica, it's my pleasure to announce you as our team's most improved player. So congratulations to you, and that was a great first year. Hope you come back. Noah Dietenbeck. Noah was unknown to me at the start of the year, but I quickly learned to like him. Smooth skater, nice stick handling skills. Noah didn't start off the year as quick as some of the others, but once he got going, he was very impressive to watch. He had totals of 55 goals and 30 assists this year. Noah, I would call him like a coach's dream player. He looks to create plays and set people up, while also charging back to defend. He skates back as fast as he skates forward, and I love that about him. He's very dependable. Noah also developed one of the nicest wrist shots on the team. I remember in the A final of the Mount Forest tournament, Noah netted 2 top corner goals from the blue line that were crucial to our victory. Noah was one of the most dependable players. He made it out to every game, every practice. He took on a leadership role as well, helping other players by pointing out little things to them that sometimes coaches might take for granted. I remember seeing him a couple times while they were on the ice. He'd point where someone should go so he could hit him with a pass. Very, very mature, very impressive. As I said at the start of the year, or the beginning, Noah was unknown to me, and I was really taken aback when I found out that this was only his second year playing. I was very, very impressed, and I was also glad I listened to my son Jason when he told me, pick Noah, we want him on the team. So, strong and skilled, both forward and defense. It was never in question. Noah deserved an award, and for those above mentioned reasons, Noah Beek is awarded our team's most dedicated player. Congratulations, Noah. Very job well done. I'm glad to have met you and your family this year. Lucas Brand. I knew Lucas from last year when he played with my daughter Molly, and I knew I wanted him and his younger brother Andreas on the team. He learned a lot last year playing on defense with another skilled defenseman who was a second year, and I watched him learn from him and helped him out. And when the year began, it was clear to me that Lucas was a leader right from the start. I was also impressed with how well his skating had improved as well. Lucas would not give up and played hard from puck drop till final buzzer. He was by far our top defenseman. I'll always remember the look in his eye if anyone got by him. He would turn and chase after them and not stop until he had got that puck away from them. Numerous times coming back and just diving for his stick and managing to knock the puck away before taking out the man to avoid a penalty. Very impressive and very helpful to the team's achievements. Lucas was also our game here at the Mount Forest tournament. Our second game in the semifinals, we went to overtime against the team, and Lucas managed to notch one from behind the net somehow. It was put us in the A final, and boy, that was a big one. He finished the season with 28 goals and 28 assists, and also spent some time playing forward, but the blue line was where he was most confident in his play. And it was... I feel bad for Lucas and Molly because the team they were on last year was a dream team, and it was stunning to us as parents that they didn't go on to make the WAA final. And then for this year, for Lucas and Molly to have that redemption and win and get to that final and then have it taken away was heartbreaking for them. I know we would have won that championship too because of this team's heart, and I would have loved winning that trophy, and you would have been the first person I handed it to, Lucas, because you were definitely the team leader, and I want to congratulate you as our choice for this team's most valuable player, Lucas. Lucas, you don't need the trophies, the medals, the souvenirs. You're a champion player, and just know that. You'd be a delight to have on any team, and it's been a pleasure coaching you, as everyone. Like I said, one of the funnest years I've had. Put the spark back in me to have fun coaching again, and I just felt because of the season and the small team, each of those players deserved an acknowledgement, and I appreciate it, and I appreciate the parents' support, and congratulations, you're the Adam Local League 2020 co-champions, WAA. That's all for now. I'm Kevin Vandermecker. Thank you.